will constantly be thinking of how do we innovate for the human connection as well as the technology itself. If we look at the different markets that we're in secure markets, we're in education, corporate, etc. Every one of those markets, they have their own unique set of challenges, their own set of problems. We're here to solve those problems in the real world.
If you wanted to watch a recording of a video, if you like, initially it was on 16mm film, and then the ABC started broadcasting educational TV programs. And then after a while, when the technology became available, there were some very early sub-professional video machines that used reel-to-reel tape that we used to recording these, so the schools started building up libraries of videos. So this is how schools started developing videotape libraries. But then there was the issue of playing them out. And as Jenny first discovered when she was teaching, operating one of these machines was quite fraught with difficulty, and accidents would happen and tapes would be lost, and teachers would shy away from them because it was all too hard. So there was then a tendency to then develop for a lot of schools to put the video machines in one place and cable them out to a few classrooms. And this was the state of affairs when Jenny was teaching down at Stella Maris. And so she was there in 75. It wasn't too long before one of the nuns said to Jenny, "And what does your husband do for a living?" This was Sister Harriet. And we got to know Sister Harriet fairly well after a while, because the next day she said to Jenny, "Do you think he could fix the video machine for us?" And then the suggestion was, it'd be really good if we had one of these systems like the rich schools have, where they've got TVs in classrooms. So we got together. Sister Harriet asked the parents whether they had any second-hand black and white TVs, because colour TV had just started then, and nobody really wanted black and white TVs. But of course, the videotape machine being only black and white, there was no point using anything else. So I set to and modified the TVs. Yeah. And then we had this most amazing scene where your mum, who was pregnant with you at the time, and Sister Harriet climbing up over roofs pulling cables, and down at Stella Maris, and that's how that all started. Pi had just released a range of remote control TVs with a remote control handset, and a light bulb went off in my head. I said, hang on, we could actually take the signal from the infrared remote control handset, send it back down the cable and get it to control the video machines. And nobody else have ever done that. And
in Australia?
In Australia or anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere in the world. It hadn't been done. Well, initially the idea was maybe we would wire it.
Yeah.
And then the thinking, well, hang on, if we could just use the infrared remote, the teacher would have the freedom to move around the classroom. So that was the beginning of the first generation video commander. They'd call up the library and say, could I have such and such a program at period 5 or whatever? And the schools eventually built up quite good booking systems for this. And the result was that a teacher could just walk into the classroom, pick up the remote and play the video. This became very popular. This increased the usage of video for teaching by huge factors. One school I recalled said they worked out it was something like about 80%, an 80% increase in the use of videos. One of the the tertiary colleges, training colleges, the many trained nurses, I think, said really they couldn't operate without it. It reached a stage where pretty much every high school in Sydney had one of these. That's when Robinson Audiovisual became Command Systems.
Who were some of the people over the years that you feel like helped shape CommBox, who put their heart and soul into it to make us what it is?
We had a lot of people like that.
That's right.
We were very fortunate. Hiro Suzuki, he applied for the job, basically a workshop manager who would be responsible for getting the stuff made and out the door. He was very, very good at that. Ordana was an extremely good assembly and alignment operator. And her main job at Pi used to be aligning the colour TV boards.
Yeah.
And she was extremely good at that. There were two girls that did it, and each of them got to put their initials on the board when they did it.
Yeah.
Krakow used to do the mainly the surface mount stuff.
That's right. Technically should be done by a robot.
It should be done by a robot, and it normally is.
Yeah, but she could do it.
And she could do it manually. Anthony Jeffco, he would have been about 16, and he didn't have a driver's licence.
Too young for a driver's
license. He was too young for a driver's licence. But in those days, you could get your motorbike licence or your L plates.
Yeah.
And that's what he'd done. So he used to get around on this little step-through motor scootery thing, strap the toolbox onto the back and go out to schools and do
service work and installs, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Got to talk about Mum and what her role was.
My job was to come up with the designs, but she actually was the person to make sure that the business had some money and that we got paid.
Employed people.
And employed people. She was the person who really ran the company.
There was a job going up at Command Systems, and I said to my parents, what about me? I think I can do that. It was to run the service department. Like, I really want to give it a crack. I've got this. And yeah, that's where I started, just running the service department. And it really just sort of grew from there. When I first met Nick, I was really busy entrenched in Command Systems, and it was a lot on my plate. And then eventually I was like, there's a perfect person in sales to come and join us. I need him. And I just carefully trying to like give a hint, please, come on, you got to do this. And in my school holidays, I would go answer the phones and filing. So to be honest, I've just sort of been there throughout my childhood. So it was a natural progression.
How it started actually was I'd fallen into real estate by mistake. This was in 1997. So I did real estate for a while, and I was selling acreage in Terry Hills, and I loved it. It was really fun, actually. And I was about to, well, my boss from LJ Hooker, he was retiring, and I was looking at buying that business. That's when Therese said, well, why don't I come into the family business? The ceilings are much higher, the opportunities are bigger, and so on. And I looked at it, and that's what happened, which was, what, 2001?
Yes. Yeah, early 2001.
Yeah. We actually continued with the company name for a period of time, but then it was too confusing, and it wasn't strong enough in marketing. So we had the products were called CommBox, but the company name remained Command Systems. But then we did a change, and in actual fact, it was when I took us into the large format displays, that's where we really embraced the change properly and changed the name of the company to CommBox to match the brand.
What did you inherit that you most wanted to protect?
Innovation and intellectual property. We've always been a development house, and I've absolutely wanted to continue to develop and innovate. The next chapter is absolutely growth, and growth is going to occur in a couple of ways. Growth is going to occur still through innovation and through product-centric. So we've got lots of new products and experiences coming out over the next couple of years and beyond, of course. But growth is also going to be geographic. So it's about going global. We're only a small team at the moment. We've got, 40 staff. So that's 40 families who rely on CommBox. But then you've got, beyond those 40 families, we've got how many reseller partners, how many end users, etc. It's really, what does success look like to me? It's a multiplier of all of that. It's a multiplier into those 54 countries. It's a multiplier to all the way throughout. Display dominates our company. If we look, what are the changes that are happening at the moment? Yes, we've got the emergence of LED. So that will absolutely forms a very large part of our future. If you look at it, we're very much about the experience, so not just the hardware. What changes are happening? Well, of course, AI is happening. We're embracing AI throughout every aspect of our business, operationally included, etc. But the more people embrace AI, the more we must also run towards and embrace the human connection. So absolutely, we will constantly be thinking of how do we innovate for the human connection as well as the technology itself. There's always risks in business. I mean, we're going through risks at the moment. We've got supply chain risk. We've got price risk. We've got geopolitical risks, etc. But honestly, risks don't worry me at all. I embrace risk. Risk is only a problem if you do nothing about it or if you don't act quick enough. And that's absolutely at CommBox. That's what we do well. We excel in moving fast. And when there is a risk and you can move fast, that's when you create opportunity. So risk, I say bring it.
For me, like, I'm really passionate as well about meeting spaces and the way that they look and the way that they work. And I can see a big market for this, that we make meeting spaces really clever in the way that the furniture creates better collaborating spaces and the way the technology works together. I think that's something that I would really like to see grow with CommBox, that we're one of the leaders in saying this is how we do meeting spaces.
That's why Therese is so passionate about the Carter brand.
Yeah.
If anybody knows us, anybody comes into our headquarters here, people walk in, they feel that sense of fun. Anybody who sees us on the stand that integrates, they hear us, they see us. It's not one moment, it's every moment.
Yeah. They come for an experience, don't they? And that's what our people do. That's what's different. They do deliver that experience.
CommBox does. We all do. It doesn't matter, does it, whether it's walking in here or they're looking on our website or they're using one of our products.
Yeah. Or they're wearing our socks. They're pulling on a new pair of CommBox socks.
Everything's about the experience.
Yeah.
So your mum was clearly a pioneer in the AV industry. How was that for you coming into the business and into that industry, seeing her run that ship? How's it evolved for you?
I always had that role model, I guess. And so I sort of maybe felt a bit cocky and ready to do that as a 21-year-old. Going into taking it overseas, and I was just this little 5'2" person spruiking command systems to the rest of the world. And I tell you what, there weren't very many women in those at those early trade shows. Very little, especially my age as well. So that was quite new. I met Sarah at Mother's Group 22 years ago with our daughters, and so we'd stayed very close.
You know the way when you're with friends and you're chatting around a table, but of course Sarah, business person, business people, so that often the conversation does come around to business. So she was often offering us advice, and we talk and we chat and we talk about her business.
Consulted a few times.
Well, Therese and Sarah were in business together previously as well.
We had a children's clothing business together.
The conversation was often about business, and then Sarah was consulting to us as well. Yeah. So helped with a couple of contracts and so on. But then it was COVID, wasn't it? So and that's where Sarah came on.
Please come join us.
And what did she start? Where did she come into?
Straight into
COO, and with the mindsets of helping us grow this company.
Having some real amazing women who've been involved with us since then, we definitely attract some pretty amazing women, and so we're really, really flying the flag in the good old AV world. So that's for sure. So we've got some amazing women here in product. We've had some incredible women in AV sales, and our creative department's now amazing, and there's some amazing talent, and it's a fun industry to work in now. Yeah, as a female.
If I could only achieve one thing over the next 3 years, it would be, it's absolutely, it's about going global. And what does global mean to me? Global means 54 countries.
CommBox is still around after 50 years, and it'd be very hard to think of many technology companies in the field that we're in that you can say that about.
Yeah.
You know, we've outlasted them all.
Yeah.
And the reason that's happened is because the business has changed with the times, with the technology, and we haven't tried to hang on to old technology any longer than is absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
It's the AV community as a whole, it's the fun that we're having, it's vibe, it's Marbo. No, I mean, I love it. And at the end of the day, get into work with your best friend. The company has been taken forward with respect of what's been built, respect of the original culture, the original spirit of the company. And a big part of that is innovation, is engineering, and so on. So I'm very mindful of the heritage that we have, and that we're here today because of that heritage.